Podcast.
Welcome back to Coffee English Podcast. Before we start, I just want to ask you something, Lisa.
Okay, that sounds serious. What is it?
Why do you think people give up on themselves? Not suddenly, but slowly.
I think most people don't even notice it happening.
Yeah, it's not like they wake up one day and say, I'm done.
Exactly. They just stop trying the same way they used to.
They still do things, but without belief.
And without belief, everything feels heavier.
That's such a good word. Heavy.
Because even small tasks feel difficult when you don't believe they matter.
I've noticed something. People give up more on normal days than on bad days.
I agree. Bad days are obvious. Normal days are dangerous.
Because nothing is wrong, but nothing feels right either.
That's when people feel tired, even if they slept well.
And confused, even if their life looks fine.
That confusion makes people question themselves.
They start asking, what's the point? Why am I even doing this?
Those questions sound reasonable.
And that's the scary part.
When a thought sounds reasonable, we stop fighting it.
There's a phrase I like, quiet quitting.
Yes, not quitting officially, but emotionally.
You show up, but your heart isn't there.
And over time, that distance grows.
Distance from your goals, from your confidence, from yourself.
That's why today's topic matters so much.
Don't give up on yourself.
Because once you give up on yourself, everything else becomes harder.
Learning, working, trying again.
But the good news is, giving up is not permanent.
You can always return.
You can always decide, I'm still here.
And that decision doesn't need to be loud.
It just needs to be honest.
So if you're listening right now and you feel a bit lost,
Or tired, or unsure.
this conversation is for you.
Not to push you, not to judge you.
Just to sit with you and remind you of something simple.
You haven't failed.
You haven't fallen behind.
You're just human.
And this is just the beginning. Lisa, after talking about quiet quitting, I keep thinking about something else.
What's that?
Why does it feel so hard to come back once you've stepped away a little?
Because stepping away breaks momentum.
Momentum again. That word explains a lot.
It does. Momentum is like forward energy. When it's there, things feel lighter.
And when it's gone, everything feels heavy again.
Exactly. That's when people say, I fell behind.
Fell behind sounds serious, like there's no way back.
But that's not true. Falling behind just means you paused longer than you planned.
Yet people are so hard on themselves about it.
They are. They say, I ruined everything.
When in reality, nothing is ruined.
Right. What they lost wasn't ability, it was rhythm.
Rhythm is a good word. It's that natural flow.
When you lose your rhythm, even simple things feel awkward.
So starting again feels uncomfortable.
Yes, and discomfort scares people.
They confuse discomfort with failure.
But discomfort is actually a sign that you're stretching.
That's interesting. Stretching isn't comfortable, but it's necessary.
Exactly. Growth rarely feels good in the moment.
Another thing I notice is how people talk to themselves when they fall behind.
The inner voice becomes very critical.
Critical as in harsh.
Yes, that voice says, you always mess this up. Why do you even try?
And hearing that voice makes people hesitate even more.
Because who wants to move forward while being attacked from the inside?
So instead of restarting gently, they stop completely.
Which is ironic, because gentle restarts work best.
That's a great phrase, restart gently.
It means you don't punish yourself for stopping.
You just begin again without drama.
One small action, one simple step.
Not to prove anything, just to reconnect.
Reconnect with the habit, with the goal, with yourself.
So maybe the real skill is not never stopping.
But knowing how to come back.
Quietly, calmly, without shame.
That's how people don't give up on themselves.
Lisa, something keeps coming up in my mind. Why do people stop even when they know what to do?
You mean when they already understand the steps but still don't move?
Exactly. They know the plan, they know the goal, but they don't act.
I think that's where procrastination lives.
Most people think procrastination means laziness.
But it rarely is. Most of the time, it's emotional.
Emotional how?
It's avoidance. People avoid discomfort. They avoid pressure. They avoid feeling bad about themselves.
So they delay.
Yes, they put things off.
Put things off. That phrase comes up a lot.
Because it describes the behavior perfectly. Not stopping, just delaying.
And delaying feels harmless.
At first, yes, you tell yourself, I'll do it later.
Later sounds reasonable.
That's the trap. Later feels safe.
But later slowly steals momentum.
Exactly. Momentum needs movement, even small movement.
When movement stops, momentum fades.
And once momentum is gone, starting again feels heavy.
Heavier than the first time.
Much heavier, because now guilt is added.
Guilt changes everything.
It does. Guilt turns a task into a judgment.
You're no longer just doing something, you're proving something.
And that pressure makes people freeze,
So instead of starting small, they wait for the right moment.
which rarely comes.
There's another phrase I hear a lot. I talked myself out of it.
That's such an honest phrase.
To talk yourself out of something means convincing yourself not to act.
And we're very good at that.
We create reasons, excuses, justifications.
And most of them sound logical.
Like, I'm too tired today. I'll be better tomorrow. I need to prepare more.
Preparation becomes procrastination.
That's a big one.
People hide behind preparation because it feels productive.
But nothing actually moves forward.
Exactly. Action is missing.
So how do you break that cycle?
You lower the bar.
Lower the bar?
Yes, you make the task almost too easy.
Like what?
Instead of saying, I'll study for an hour, you say, I'll study for 5 minutes.
5 minutes feels doable.
That's the point. Doable creates movement.
And movement rebuilds momentum.
Slowly, quietly, without drama.
Another thing I notice is how people talk to themselves when they procrastinate.
The inner voice becomes cruel.
Cruel is the right word.
It says, you're lazy, you always do this, what's wrong with you?
That voice doesn't help.
No, it makes things worse.
Because when you feel attacked, you want to escape.
Exactly, and procrastination is escape.
So instead of being hard on yourself,
You need to be honest but kind.
there's a phrase I love, meet yourself where you are.
That means don't demand more than you can give today.
Give what you can, not what you wish you could.
That mindset keeps you moving,
Even slowly,
especially slowly.
because slow movement is still movement.
And movement keeps you connected to yourself.
Which brings us back to the main idea.
Don't give up on yourself just because today feels heavy.
Heavy days don't define you.
They're just part of the process.
And the process continues as long as you do.
Lisa, can we talk about something uncomfortable?
Of course. What kind of uncomfortable?
The kind that people don't like to admit. The feeling of falling behind.
Yeah, that feeling hits deep.
It's not just about progress, it's about identity.
Exactly. People don't say, I'm behind in my work. They say, I'm behind in life.
And that's a dangerous jump.
Because now the problem isn't a situation, it's who you think you are.
Psychologically, that's huge.
It is. When people label themselves, their brain treats it as truth.
So instead of saying, I'm having a slow period, they say, I'm a slow person.
And the brain loves patterns. Once it accepts a label, it looks for evidence.
Confirmation bias.
Exactly. You notice every mistake, every delay, every comparison.
And ignore everything else.
That's why comparison feels so convincing.
Let's talk about comparison, because it's everywhere.
Comparison used to be local. Now it's global.
You're not comparing yourself to 5 people anymore. You're comparing yourself to the internet.
And the internet shows highlights, not process.
People don't post confusion, they post results.
They don't post their slow days, they post their wins.
So when you compare, You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's finished product.
That comparison is unfair and psychologically damaging,
It creates chronic dissatisfaction.
which leads to burnout or giving up.
Another thing I notice is how people talk to themselves when they feel behind.
The inner dialogue becomes absolute.
Like, I always fail, I never finish anything.
Words like always and never are a red flag.
Because they're rarely true.
They're emotional exaggerations.
And the brain, when emotional, loses nuance.
Nuance is the ability to see gray areas.
And growth lives in gray areas.
Exactly. Not success, not failure, just learning.
Here's something important. Motivation is not stable.
Yes, people expect motivation to be consistent.
But motivation fluctuates psychologically.
That's normal, not a personal flaw.
So waiting to feel motivated is unrealistic.
What actually works is structure.
Simple structure.
Small routines, predictable actions.
Routines reduce decision fatigue.
Which means you spend less mental energy deciding whether to act.
That's why habits matter.
Not because they're impressive, but because they're reliable.
Another misconception is thinking you need clarity before moving forward.
But clarity often comes after action,
You move, then you understand.
not the other way around.
So when people say, I'm confused,
What they often mean is, I haven't started yet.
that's honest.
And it's fixable.
Let's talk about self-compassion, not in a soft way, but in a practical way.
Self-compassion doesn't mean excuses. It means realistic expectations.
It means saying, given my energy today, this is enough.
Enough is a powerful word because it stops the cycle of constant dissatisfaction,
And dissatisfaction drains energy.
which leads back to procrastination,
So the loop continues.
unless you interrupt it.
And the interruption is awareness.
Not force, not pressure, awareness.
Noticing when your thoughts are becoming extreme.
Noticing when comparison is stealing your focus.
Noticing when you're tired, not broken.
That distinction matters.
Because tired people need rest.
Broken people give up, and most people are not broken.
They're just exhausted.
So maybe the goal is not to push harder, but to understand yourself better.
Understanding creates patience.
And patience keeps you going,
Even on days when progress feels invisible.
especially on those days.
Lisa, after everything we talked about today, there's one thing that keeps coming back to me.
What's that?
Most people don't actually fail. They just get tired of trying.
Yes, they confuse exhaustion with inability.
And psychologically, those two things are very different.
Completely different. One means you need rest, the other means you need a new direction.
But when you're tired, it's hard to tell the difference.
That's why people make big decisions in moments when they shouldn't.
Like giving up on a goal or deciding this isn't for me.
Those decisions feel logical in the moment,
But they're often emotional shortcuts.
shortcuts away from discomfort.
Another thing I've noticed is how people measure their worth.
They tie it to outcomes,
Results, speed, comparison.
and that's risky because outcomes are unstable.
You can do everything right and still not see results immediately.
That doesn't mean you're failing,
It means you're in the process.
and the process is uncomfortable because it's unfinished.
Humans don't like unfinished things.
No, our brains crave closure.
That's why people rush or quit just to end the tension.
But growth lives inside that tension,
That space between who you were and who you're becoming.
and that space feels uncertain.
But uncertainty is not danger.
It's possibility.
I think one of the healthiest questions people can ask themselves is, what would continuing look like?
Not succeeding, not winning, just continuing.
Continuing might mean slowing down,
or adjusting expectations.
or changing the way you talk to yourself,
Especially that.
because your inner voice is the environment you live in.
If that environment is hostile, everything feels harder.
So maybe progress isn't about doing more.
Maybe it's about being less cruel
Less judgment, less pressure, less comparison.
and more patience.
Patience with learning, with growth, with yourself.
That's how people last,
Not by being perfect,
but by being forgiving
forgiving themselves for slow days,
for mistakes.
for pauses.
Pauses are not failures,
They're part of the rhythm.
and rhythm always returns if you stay close to it.
So if someone is listening right now and feels unsure,
Or tired or behind.
we want you to hear this clearly.
You don't need to quit.
You don't need to restart your whole life.
You don't need to prove anything.
You just need to stay connected to yourself
Stay curious. Stay honest.
and take the next small step when you're ready,
Not when you're perfect.
because perfection was never the goal.
Showing up was.
If this conversation resonated with you,
If it made you feel a little less alone,
we'd love for you to stay with us.
follow Coffee English Podcast wherever you're listening.
And if you enjoy these conversations, don't forget to subscribe.
It helps more people find the podcast.
And it helps us keep creating honest conversations like this one.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
Take care of yourself, and remember,
Don't give up on yourself.